So before showing another engine, I wanted to show some of the switch positions that I have set up on the Warthog. These are often the switches that I've found myself using most often, so I put them on the Warthog rather than using the keyboard. So for example, views I put on the mic switch. And here, let me move this up here, and then I'm going to actually turn the throttle down. So the mic switch I use for views. The hat switch that's back here I use for like the arrow keys. So for example, right arrow, put your head out the window, you can look around. It goes to the different views in the cab. So I'm just pushing the hat switch that's over here to the right, I'm pushing it to the left, and so on. So for example, if I go to 3, free view, now I'm able to move around using all buttons on the Warthog rather than going to the keyboard. I could go to the keyboard and use the arrow keys as well, it would be fine as well. So back to the views. Backward is like pressing 3, forward is like pressing 1. Let's get back to that view there. So 3, 1. If I go back, then it presses 3 twice. So that's goes to the two ends of the engine. So cab, there's the front view, there's the rear view. Back to the cab. Press and hold is the equivalent of pressing the 2 key. Press and hold twice cycles it. So back to the cab, press and hold, it presses 2, press and hold, it presses 2, forward goes back to the cab. Up brings up the map, up again closes the map, down turns off the little icons, down press and hold turns off the entire HUD, down press and hold again brings it all back. So I have all of this shown in an Excel file where I have an image of the Warthog and all the setup. So like here's the coolie switch that I was showing in the front here. The coolie switch has the arrow keys left, right, up, and down. The mic switch has the exterior views and so on. So this is included, and peruse through it. It's a bit of an eye chart, but you can see how I've set things up. So just real quickly, some of the others. The way up front here, this is the cab light. This is the wiper, goes to only half speed, 50%. I actually switched to using this one up here for the wipers as well, but it actually has the ability to go 25% each time I move it. So put it down once, it's a 75. Put it down again, 50, 25 approximately, and off. So if you just flip it up, it will gradually move the wipers up to full speed, pull it back, and it will gradually move the wipers back to slow speed, and give or take the engine type, it will park the wipers for you as well. Bell, horn, the AWS reset button. This is on certain engines only the lead axle sander. On other engines it is, actually this engine is not quite working right because this one doesn't have a lead axle sander, I think. The actual momentary sander it's called the China hat. Push it forward and it does the momentary sander. And a few other switches which I have set up. It's not so critical to show everyone. You can read through this file and see how they're all set up, and I include a description of them in case there's any confusion about what was done. So that's the switches.